Hello, Nyajong. Today I'm going to be doing an in-depth tutorial on how I wrap Phuam Paj Liab Hau. Before I begin, I'm going to explain the characteristics I look for in my head wraps. I prefer the red and pink borders to be sewn on dense, frayed all the way down, because this adds that extra detail and that feathered effect that really frames the bandao beautifully. As for the bandao, it should be intentionally sewn for Phuam Paj Liab Hau. Chỉ hay tiệp có là xí lừa bandao cậu lo chiếu ở bandao Phuam Liab Hau no. For the shijing, there is typically two. One decorative shijing that wraps all around the black fabric, and then one supporting shijing that ties everything in place. However you like it is personal preference. Let's get started. Putting on your turban should be your last step. Make sure you've already worn all of your attire. This will make it easier. The faux bun method is great for people with short or thinning hair. The first step is to gather all the hair out of the face and behind the ears. Ideally, you should tie a higher ponytail. However, my model prefers a lower ponytail, which will work just as well. We are not tying it in a bun in the back because it'll be too bulky. When you are done with the ponytail, you can clip the excess hair onto your scalp. Next, get a headscarf. Fold it like so you can have the long ends to create that faux bun. Laluku. To create the faux bun, you will tie the headscarf below the hairline. Then wind both ends on top of one another to build a knot. That will be your faux bun or luku. I like to wrap the headscarf under the ponytail. That way when I'm finished, I can just tuck the ponytail in the headscarf. I don't like hair clips because they can get in the way when putting on the actual pua. We are now ready for the actual turban. Tuck in any loose hairs in the headscarf and behind the ears. Do not wrap this turban all in one go. It must be wrapped section by section for the best results. Take your time. The first step is to wrap the pua over your neck like a scarf. Therefore, the extra fabric won't get in the way while you're wrapping the panel section by section. The back panel always wraps first. Make sure you wrap the turban to cover the scarf. Press and wrap the fabric against the forehead. The bun is just there to help shape and guide the fabric. You are relying on the forehead to wrap the pua securely in place, which is why you need to wrap it tight. Do not rely on the bun for security. It is just there to shape and guide the fabric. This part will take trial and error depending on the scarf. Ideally, you do not want the back of the panel longer than the length of your neck, but if the tassels are long, that is perfectly fine. Now I will show you the front. I'm wrapping the pua firmly against the forehead, using the bun to guide the fabric into its shape. Then I will cross over and start on the front panel once I'm happy with the back panel. After crossing it over in the front, I will continue wrapping the extra fabric above the head. When I reach the back, I will cross over the back panel so it overlaps and falls at a diagonal. If you're confused, just keep watching. Next, I'll wrap the front panel. Make sure it's not placed too high or too low. You want the decorated shijing to pop through. In the front, when I cross it over the first time, if you look closely, it created height. Now you need to wrap the front panel to match the same height as the opposite side. Like I said, make sure it's not too high or too low. When you're happy where the front panel is, wrap the supporting shigeng to secure. I wrap it above the first few lines of the colored embroidery on the front panel. I'll show you in a bit. I don't like to wrap it too high or too low. My shigeng is a bit long, so I'm wrapping it twice. You don't have to. You always want to tuck it in the back beneath the falling panel. It's best to do it neatly, as I am showing you. This is just one of many ways of how to do it. After it's tucked in neatly, I'm pulling down that back panel to make sure it falls where I want it. Then I'll go back in and fix the tiny little hairs so it frames the pandal perfectly. And this is our front view. And now I'm gonna show you exactly where I placed the supporting shigeng. If you look closely, I placed it above the first column of yellow embroidery. And now we're finished! But if you're extra like me, go in with a tiny safety pin and pin that front panel to prevent it from falling throughout the day. This is just something I like to do, so there's no mishaps if we're at the new year or at a wedding. Now, after I'm finished pinning my turban, I'll go in and do some retouching and the fine details, making sure that everything is in its place. And this completes our tutorial. Thanks for watching my tutorial, you guys. Till then, see you next time. Bye!